Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. And while you're coming in, I'm going to go ahead and share the broadcast. And I ask you to do the same thing. Share the broadcast. Share with someone, share with someone, share with someone. Come on in, come on in. Let me share. I'm praying for this signal, y'all. Y'all just bear with me. Um, it's the faces for me. I know that listen, y'all bear with me. We're working on the Wi-Fi situation so that it'll be clearer and easier for you guys to see and follow me. And stay engaged. Like I want you to be able to stay with me on this journey. So come on in. Welcome to In Search of Me with Dr. V. Finding me and my father is what I'm talking about tonight. And tonight is a bittersweet broadcast. Um, I have found that our journey has inspired some people to do some things that they otherwise may not have done, but it's also come with challenges. Um, it's also come with challenges. That's what I'm going to say. So, I recently was talking to a friend of mine, and she was sharing with me how the situation with my father inspired her. Inspired her to reach out to her father, um, who she hadn't seen in like 19 years. And so she reached out to him and shared our post about a father's love and um, told him that this was going to be them this year. Um, that was maybe a week ago. Meanwhile, today she found out that her father passed and they didn't get a chance to have that. Um, why is this important? It's important because, there's some things about us and our journey that show up in our relationship with our parents. And particularly our fathers, our mothers too, but there's something about that father relationship that often is underestimated, particularly in the Black community. And so, I want to make sure that we understand why it's so significant, right? Why am I here? Why am I in Gates, North Carolina, in the country? Clearly, as you can tell by my Wi-Fi, in the country, with my dad and my other mom and my sister and my niece and my uncle. And why am I here? Well, I'm here because there are some things about me that I can only find in him. I can look for it in other places, but where I found it was in him. And believe me, I looked. What what did Vashawn Mitchell say? I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. Right. Searched high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater. Nobody greater. Nobody greater than you, God. Right. But I found that there were some things that I needed that I could only get from my father, and not just a father, but my biological father. There were some things that my daddy, who raised me all my life up until 55, gave me that only he could give me, because there were things that he possessed, things that he had, things that he shared with me. And I don't take those things for granted. there were also some things that I needed that he couldn't give me. See, you can't give what you don't have. And so where I did find those things was in my biological father. Now I need to understand, my father is like the greatest affirmation of me, confirmation of me, reminder of how amazing and how great I am and the things about me are. So he's important. And I have found me small things like what I do with my hands when I'm talking. He does that. It's one of our soothing behaviors. It's something that we do to calm ourselves, to keep ourselves regulated. And I know y'all may say, Dr. V, you need to be regulated. You need to be calmed down. I do. And this or this is the behavior that I engage in to calm me, to soothe me, to regulate me, right? My dad does the same thing. Or when we're getting ready to go to sleep, we rub our feet, right? We rub our feet together. And that's one of the things that we do. So those things seem like small things, but it's just yet another thing to remind me of how much like this man I am. This man that I had not met and did not know existed, but who so succinctly, vividly mirrored me, or I mirrored him because he's a little bit older than me. um, he's so important to me. So earlier today, I was sharing the story about my friend and her father, and I said, um, make the most of your time. Well, it's one of the reasons that I'm here. You see, I didn't know this was coming. I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know it was going to happen. I didn't know that I would find him. I didn't know that he would find me. We didn't know because we didn't know each other existed. But this is what I did know. I knew that something was missing and I just didn't know what it was. Something was missing and I couldn't find it. Something was missing and I was searching and looking and trying to find it, but struggling. And I found it in this man that I call daddy. So, you all, even though we haven't been in each other's lives long, I can't imagine my life without him. And though I'm grieving for my other daddy, I'm loving the daddy that I have. I wish that I could really put into words well what it feels like. I, as much as I talk, I don't have all the words. I just know what it feels like. What it feels like when I get a text message from him first thing in the morning saying, "Hey, daughter. Hey, baby girl. Daddy loves you." Or when he sends me some coffee and he brings it to me, you know? Or when he hugs me and kisses me and tells me how much he loves me. Or when, like today, we get to spend the day together. And even though it's something mundane, like him going to the VA to an eye doctor's appointment, like what that means, and seeing him in action as he talks to other people, and understanding that what he does with such a pure heart, and that he doesn't meet strangers, and that's so much like me. And knowing that he's where I get so many of my behaviors. So much of me is in him. Now, look, I don't want you guys to think that, you know, my mom didn't play a role in making me, but I just find that a preponderance of my behaviors are like my dad's. Like so much of me, I see so much of me in him, like when I look at him. And that's important. I don't know what your relationship was like with your parents, even if you have one. But if you don't, I would encourage you, if they're living, to seek one, to find a way to build rapport and relationship, to find a way to get to know each other, spend time, ask questions, let them talk. Listen, parents love to talk, right? Let them talk and listen. Like my daddy can tell me the same story like 10 times. I never say, "You already told me that." I listen each time like it's the first time he told the story. Why? I'm so excited to be able to hear the stories. I'm excited to be able to listen to him. I'm excited to be able to um, get some insight into his life and into his world. That's important to me. That's significant to me. It doesn't matter how many times he's told it. What matters is that every time, like I'm bright eyed, you know, and I embrace those moments when I get to meet him. I like meeting my daddy. So it's all a part of the journey. It's a part of the process. Today, when I was talking to my friend, my daddy came in like he does. And immediately I told him what happened. And he just began to minister to her like a daddy does. And made sure she knew that if she needed him, he was here. You see, my daddy's not just my daddy. He's not just my siblings' daddy. He's daddy to a lot of people. And it's so funny because my other daddy was the same way. He was daddy to so many people. Like I would show up in Tennessee and he'd be like, "Oh, you got a new sister." And I'd be like, "New sister? Wait, can you stop adopting people?" But it's who he was. How like God to give me two amazing men to raise me and be a part of my life. It's almost like they had a tag team set up and they didn't tell me about it, right? Um, one handled the first part of my life, the other one handled the second part of my life. But both of them playing very significant parts of my life. As I look for me, as I search for me, as I try to find me, I found that I had to go back to be able to go forward. So when I talk to my daddy, I become a 5-year-old girl. It's daddy, daddy, daddy. When I look at him, he's my superhero, right? And it's not that I think he's perfect. I don't. But he's my hero. He made it through some stuff. And I love that. So remember, it's not about your parents being perfect. It has nothing to do with perfection. We know. We know they're not perfect. But it's about us honoring who who they are in their lives, who they are to us, and who they are to other people. So everybody that meets my daddy loves him. They love him. And I know why. First of all, the women love because my daddy is fine. Let me tell y'all, my daddy fine. Okay. So I have to make sure people know this is not my man. This is my daddy. Okay. Um, but second of all, he's so welcoming and he's so open and engaging and he knows the right things to say. He knows the right things to say. And that's important. The guys, he's like that OG. He's like that OG that people are like, "Oh, what's up, OG? What's up?" He'd be like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" And all of my male friends that he's met, and I do meet my male friends, right? Like he vibes with them. Like he's just so cool. And that's an amazing thing. That's absolutely amazing. But y'all check this out, because this is one of the things that I love about my daddy. So today we're at the VA and we're just getting out of the truck. I'm on the phone. Daddy sees somebody, he's talking to him, like, hey man, how you doing? Man, I'm proud of you. Dude was driving a Maserati. My daddy was like, man, I'm proud of you, a brother. Dad's like, I'm proud of you, man. I just want to say, hey, keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, I'm proud of you. Like it's his son, right? And he was like, he's not my son, but I'm proud of him. And every chance I get to encourage someone, I want to do that. Every chance I get to let someone know that they're doing something great, I want to do that. Now, y'all, who does that sound like? I know, right? That's where I get it from, right? So I'm watching him just engage people, and I'm minding my business. So we're inside, and I'm sitting down, laptop out, working. This older white gentleman starts talking to me, and he says, well, hey, I, don't work too hard. I see, people, bring, do a lot of things, but most of them don't bring their work. You brought your work. I said, well, yeah, I brought my work. He was like, most people bring a book. I said, well, I got a book too. I got a book in the bag. I got work in the bag. My life is run pretty much from my computer, my iPad, and my phone. And I had all three devices out and connected to the Wi-Fi at the VA. And he was like, well, you want to enjoy life. And I can honestly say this time has given me the opportunity to slow down and enjoy life. So I make time. And it's something that I'm very deliberate about. My sister came in tonight and she was like, sis, can you make some guac? Listen, they love my guacamole. So I go in. I was like, yes, I can do it. So I go in, I make the guacamole. And when I finished, I was getting ready to go back in my room. Let me pause for a minute. So, I stayed out for a little while. Then I went in the room. I did a little work. And then my niece came to tell me that it was time to eat. So normally what I would have done is I would have fixed my food and gone in the room. And I just would have sat in the room and ate. Well, I made a decision to sit at the table and eat with my sister and my other mother. And talk and laugh and enjoy each other. Y'all, listen, you got to make time to just enjoy yourself. You got to make time to spend time with people that you love. You got to make a deliberate decision that that's what you're going to do. Like I made a deliberate decision and that's what I did. Like I literally sat down and we talked, we ate, we laughed. Listen, we talking about all of this stuff that's happening on the internet. Y'all listen, Nelly, Lil Fizz. I'm just saying, we just talking about stuff, right? So, we spent that time and then I went in the room. And then, of course, my daddy comes in. I know. It's like, come on in, daddy. So he goes in and he said, I had to share this with you, right? And so he was sharing this meme that someone had sent him, and he was telling me a story. He said, well, let me tell you this. So he told me the story, and we just laughed because the majority of our time together, we spend laughing because both of us are comedians. Like we both got jokes for days. So we just laugh and laugh and laugh. Like I'm just laughing, laughing, laughing. I just think he's so funny. I think he's so funny. I'd be hilarious. I mean, I just laugh at him, right? And he laughs at me because we both got jokes. So, I'm watching him and we're laughing and we're having fun and we're enjoying ourselves. And I'm reminded that that's what life is about. Oh, thank you, Ray. Thank you. And normally people equate glow with a man, right? Like, oh, you must be in a new relationship. You must be getting some good sex. I'm not getting no sex, okay? And the man in my life is my daddy, But I feel so complete because he has answered questions for me about me, right? In terms of like, where do I get that from? Why am I like that? And I get it and I understand it. So the beauty is that I have every confidence in the world that the next man in my life, in a serious relationship, like I'm not looking for him to fill a void. I'm not looking to work out my daddy issues. All that's done, right? And that is the amazing thing. That is the amazing feeling, because once you've worked through your issues with your dad, your issues with your mom, then you can have a healthy relationship with someone else. I really could not have a whole, complete, healthy relationship in any of my other marriages because I was not whole. There was a gaping hole left in my life that I didn't even know existed. But I discovered it, right? And when I discovered it, I did something about it. And I chose consciously to be here where I am right now. I made a decision. And I made a decision that not everybody agreed with, not everybody liked. But so what? This is my life. And I have learned that I have to be responsible for my life. I can't be accountable for what someone else does with their life or their time. But what I can do is manage, navigate, and control mine, right? And control it not in the sense of I've got to dictate everything that happens, but control it in terms of I've got to make decisions for my life. And so that's what I do. I make these decisions. Now, this is what I'm going to say. I said this the other day, and I'm going to repeat it, right? Please, whatever you do, don't deny your kids the opportunity to build a relationship with their father, right? Don't deny them the opportunity to get to see them in him, because I promise you, when you began to talk about the bad stuff about them, about that father, what happens is you're talking about the child, right? Because the child carries it. Now, I'll give you a prime example. Now, listen, I've not always gotten this right, but I can remember when my kids were younger. And at this particular time, my ex and I were not together. And I remember my son just always saying, I want my daddy. I want my daddy. I want my daddy. So this particular time, he was crying, talking about, I want my daddy. Y'all, and I just lost it. I snapped. I said, listen, if you can find your daddy, you can have him. I'm telling you, I'll send you find him. Find him. Because I can't. Find him. And I'm gonna send you to him. Okay? You can have your daddy all you want. I won't be mad. I won't feel no type of way. You just find him. Now, y'all, I shouldn't have done it, but I was tired of it. I was like, if this boy saying I want time, I want my daddy. Where is he? Can you tell me where he is? I ain't even asking for no money. Just tell me where he is. Okay? And so it's so funny because you would think that he wouldn't necessarily remember that because we ended up back together, like all this. He remembers it. I remember we did a song and he talked about that time in his life where he didn't know where his daddy was and his daddy not being there and what he went through during that time. Now, look, that wasn't me prompting that. He remembers. See, as children, we have these desires and these needs for our parents for a reason. It affects our attachment styles. It affects how we show up in relationships. So if you have inconsistency in your connection with a parent, then it can lead to an attachment style that's unhealthy. So if you have a insecure, avoidant attachment, you're going to avoid, you'll have a tendency to want to connect, but then avoid in relationships. You'll back up, right? If there's anything that triggers that, if there's anything that says you might not be consistent, anything that says that you might not be there, right? That causes doubt. So you want to be close to them, but you don't. Like, you're like, I'm good, just because you don't want to get hurt. If you end up with an insecure, oh my goodness, what is it? It's like an insecure attachment, but instead of avoiding, it's one of those things where you're like nonchalant. Like, if you're there, fine. If you're not, fine. Whatever. It is whatever. Okay. So it's almost like you don't care, but you do care, but you act like you don't care. Right. So all of these are protection mechanisms. And then there's the secure attachment. And the secure attachment, you're confident that even if that parent is gone or that person is gone, that they're coming back. See, it's in that secure attachment that You are able to rest. You have confidence. So this is really interesting that I don't know why God took me here, but clearly there's a reason, right? So right now, I'm building a secure attachment with my dad. But there's a part of me that is fearful. Okay. There's a part of me that has this fear that um, he's not going to be there, that um, I might wake up and it's a dream. Um, that if I'm gone too long, like I don't want to be away from him. Like I really don't want to be away from him. Now it's okay if we're here, right? At the house and like he goes to take my niece to school or to pick my niece up. One of those trips in the day I'm going with him. Either in the morning or the afternoon, but one of them trips I'm going with him. He can have one trip by himself, but the other one I'm going with him. Okay. Whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make it happen. One trip, minimum, one trip, right? Um, he can do something around here, but like today, with him going to Virginia, nah, I'm going with you, bro. I'm going. Oh, we going to the VA. Okay, I'm just checking, right? I'm going, right? And some of that is that fear. So today I decided that I was going to talk about it, right? So we're on our way home, and I said, Daddy, I said, honestly, sometimes I guess I was telling him a dream I had about one of my sisters, and I said, I really feel like a part of me is anxious, and I feel like I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna have been a dream, or it's not going to be, or something's gonna happen, or whatever. And I said, I don't want to be away from you. And my daddy said, well, baby, you're not the only one. He said, I feel the same way. Like, I don't want you too far from me. Like, I don't want you to go too far. I don't, and um, I think that part of that is like this thing is new for us. Not just our relationship, but I guess for me, I can speak for me. Like having someone that understands me the way he understands me. Like I can totally be me. Like I don't have to be a certain way. Like I can totally be me and my daddy gets me. Like he understands me. And that's affirming. Like it is affirming because not only does he understand me, get me, I can be me, but he loves me just like I am. Like he doesn't love me if I do this, or I don't have to work for the love. I don't feel like I have to perform in order to have his love or have him love me. Like all I have to do is be. Like he loves me just in being. And there's power in that because I've felt all my life that I have to perform in order to have people's love. Like I have to be, I have to not just be, but I have to show up. I have to win. I have to get A's. I have to be the top or the best or whatever. But it's in my performance that I get love. But like with him, it's not that. Like it's not at all. And I'm real big on letting him know that I don't love you because you bring me coffee. I don't love you because you treat me the way you do. I don't love you because of that. I just love you. If you didn't do any of that stuff, I still love you. Like, it's not about anything that you could do or give me. It's about you, just you, just you, just you, just you. Y'all, I promise. I just think my daddy's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's amazing. I love being around him. I love watching him. I love talking to him. I love listening to him. I just love him. And I know, some of it is it's new, but some of it is just that I just think he's freaking awesome. Like he's an awesome man. And I'm excited and honored to be his daughter. Like to me, that's an honor. And I love it. And I love when I get to do something for him. So like today we went out to eat, right? We went to eat. I said, Daddy, let's go eat. I want to go eat. So we go to a restaurant, Mango Mango in Hampton, Virginia. Amazing. You guys, if you get an opportunity to go to Mango Mango, and it's Mangeaux, something like that, right? But if you get an opportunity to go there, the food is incredible. It's a Black-owned establishment. Creole and Cajun food, baby. Baby, I think that was some of the best shrimp and grits I have ever had in my entire life. The shrimp, the grits had Gouda cheese, like it's amazing, right? But everything is like mango, and they have these mango preserves that they put in drinks, like mango everywhere. Listen, mango, one of my favorite things, but it was amazing. So we went to eat, and Daddy, being Daddy, pulls out his card. Daddy, what you doing? Put that up. This is my treat, right? So I got an opportunity to treat him. And it was so funny because the waitress came back and she said, "Oh, is this one check or two?" I was like, "One check." And she was like, okay. And I was like, "Okay, you hand that to me. Matter of fact, don't even hand it to me. Here's the card." I just handed her the card. She's like, "Well, this is the bill." I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And I was just like, "What? Whatever." Yeah, yeah. So when I paid, I said, "Daddy, you're an expensive date." I felt like I was dating me, right? Because I am. And so, he just started laughing. But to be able to do something for him was amazing to me, and I enjoyed it. I missed his birthday. His birthday was December 19th. He turned 75. That's a big deal, right? And so I missed that. So for me, breakfast today at Mango Mango is me treating him. And I said, "Happy birthday, Daddy." I wasn't here for your birthday, but this your birthday breakfast. So I just wanted to do something for you. He was like, "Oh, baby." Wanting to do something for my daddy. Why? Because I feel like he deserves it. I feel like he deserves it. And when I can, that's what I want to do. So as much as he treats everybody else and takes care of everybody else, I want to do that for him. Now listen. So check this out. Why do I want to do that for him? Because I'm the person who normally does that for other people, but I rarely have other people who do that for me. So he does for me what I do for others. So I do for him what he does for others. And in that way, that reciprocity keeps us moving forward. It feeds both of us. Again, finding me in my father. So it helps me to understand, because I tell people, I say that I'm not an acts of service person. Like, look, I'm gonna give you the words. I'm gonna hug on you. I'm gonna be affectionate and all that, but I ain't the one trying to do stuff for you. But it's really not true. Let me tell you what I'm discovering about me. It's not that I won't do stuff for you. That's not it. Because I do. I do stuff for people all the time. It's that it's some stuff I'm not doing. I'm just not trying to do, like, I'm not trying to just be washing dishes all the time. I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm not. But to be able to do something for someone, just to let them know that they're special to me. Now that I'm with, I say I'm not big on gifts, but I guess I kind of am, in the sense that I want to do things that let people know that they're special. Um, Giving them something that's unique, giving them something that's special, giving them something that lets them know that I care and that I put thought into it. I low key try to be hardcore and gangster, but I'm probably less hardcore and gangster than I really want the world to believe, um, because I do care. I care about people, and I want everyone to feel special and everyone to know that they matter. So, in being in search of me, I found a lot of me in my father. And I just embrace it. The thought of one day him not being here, um, makes me extremely sad. And so rather than focus on that, I focus on letting him know how much I love having him in my life and how grateful I am that he accepted me the way he did, that he's embraced me the way he has, and that he loves me the way he does. And he's so big on, like, I don't love you because you do anything. I just love you. You're my daughter. I love you. And I'm so grateful that God saw fit to protect you in a cocoon for 55 years, protecting you from the elements so that he can bring you to me now. So, what would I say to someone in search of them? I would say start with the root, your parents. Start there. And if you have a parent that's not in your life, that you don't really know, take a journey. Find out. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to like everything you find out. I'm not telling you that you're going to even be able to necessarily find them. But don't end up with a bunch of regret because you didn't try. Don't end up with a bunch of regret because you didn't reach out. Don't end up with a bunch of regret because you didn't forgive. Don't end up with a bunch of regret because whatever. Take the chance. Take a risk. You never know what you're going to discover. For me, though, some people have been very uncomfortable and not so happy about me taking my story to social media. The fact that I brought my story to social media allowed one young woman to reconnect with her father, at least long enough to hear from him that he loved her and always would. So this is why you have to take your own journey, regardless of what people think or how people feel. You have to know with everything in you when God is calling you to a place and a space. And I know that he's been having me in this place of healing for over a year now. Like, this has been consistent, like what God has been doing in me. And now I get it, because it is when you take your journey in healing that you're able to show other people what the journey looks like and encourage them and let them know that they too can take the journey. If all you get out of our story is that love is real and DNA is powerful, baby, I've done my job. But if you get more, that's icing on the cake. When you can move in a way that allows you to build relationship, like, that's an amazing thing. Oh Lord, sis, it works both ways, though. You can reach and reach and nothing changes. I guess you just do what you could and keep on moving. And you do. But let me tell y'all about me. Can I tell y'all about me for a minute? I have crazy faith, right? And so what I've found is that I believe this is a season for change and radical change. I believe 2022 is a season of radical change. This is a season where the hand of God is moving. Like, literally, the hand of God is moving, and things that were stuck, things that were blocked, things that were held up, things that have been an impasse will be broken through. Like, I believe this is breakthrough season. I promise y'all, listen to me. If y'all don't listen to nothing else I say, this is not the season to give up. This is not the season for it. So when we started this fast on February 2nd, I'm like fasting, and my fast is specifically for family breakthrough. Now listen, family breakthrough always is going to come with some stuff, where some obstacles. Bam, it's going to be some, right? And so I just believe that what God is doing is so big that there's nothing that can stop it. Nothing. And I'm excited about that because, look, you do move forward. You do move forward and move forward with expectation. I just expect some stuff. Sis, I expect some stuff. And I believe this. That when we lay it on the altar and we lay on the altar, that God moves. The thing that you love the most, being willing to lay it on the altar, gives God an opportunity to bring the ram in the bush. When you think about Abraham, when God told him, I want you to go and I want you to sacrifice your son, right? The seed, the promise, right? I want you to go sacrifice the promise. And he went. And Isaac went so willingly. Dad, where's the sacrifice? His son, don't worry about it. Come on, we just gonna go. Let's go, right? And when Abraham laid him on the altar, the thing that was the promise, right? The child of the promise. Now, not that he didn't have another child, but Isaac was the child of the promise, and he laid the child of the promise on the altar, willing to sacrifice it. Man, that moved God. That moved God. The fact that he was willing to do that moved God to provide the ram in the bush that was needed for the sacrifice, so that even though he told him to sacrifice the promise, he didn't have to sacrifice the promise. And I just am watching God do miraculous stuff. What I know is this. Everything God promised me, yeah, that's going to happen. I don't believe God showed me the stuff that he's shown me to not do it. I love in the word when it talks about, behold, I do a new thing. Shall it not spring forth? Girl, no, what is you talking about? Listen, no, this is real because so many people are in that place. Like so many people are in the place where they are tired and they're frustrated and it seems as though nothing is going to change. It's like I keep doing and doing and doing, but it's not really changing. And sometimes we gotta change. We gotta change and change what we do. So for me, I've had to change what I do. When it comes to my mama, I got to change me. I can't change her, but what I can do is change me. So like this journey is really teaching me the importance of changing me and checking me, because Lord knows I'll be like, but I can't. So there goes the changing me. When we can find those pieces, those things, those issues, and they have to come to the surface, right? Like God has to bring stuff to the surface so it can be addressed and dealt with. And then we're able to truly move forward in a way that is unencumbered, like not carrying the weight of the past. Now, listen, I'm not saying that I've already attained. And that ain't what I'm saying. I ain't saying I already got it all worked out. I am not saying that. That ain't what I'm saying. I want y'all to hear me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. But this one thing I do. Oh, Jesus. Forgetting those things that lie behind. I press on toward the mark of the high calling. So if I didn't get it yesterday, it's a new day. Thank God. I get a new chance to push and to press forward. If my nerves were frazzled yesterday or even earlier today, I get a new chance to press and move forward. I'm not saying that I already mastered it. I have not mastered it. But I can't say I'm on the journey. And sometimes that's what you just got to be. You just got to be on the journey, um, knowing that God is doing something and waiting for the full manifestation of what he promised you. God is not a man that he should lie. And I need that in my life because guess what? I mess up and I need his promises to remind me of why I need to make sure that I'm continuing to move forward, and not his promises as in things in his hand, not that, but the things of his heart. It's the things of his heart. It's not that I want the things in God's hand. I want his heart. In fact, my sister said the other day, she was talking about revival, and she was asking God to renew our passion for the things of him, our passion for him. And that's what it takes when we begin to submerge ourselves in him, immerse ourselves in his heart, in his passion, in his view of people. Then it's not so much about us anymore. My sister, Marquita, that's who said it. Moments with, is it Moments with Me? I can't think. Motivational Moments with Me. Yeah, go follow her. Okay. She's dope. It just, I don't know. Y'all, I don't have all the answers, but what I do have is faith. My family will be healed. That's my faith talk. Faith talk. Oh my God. We got to exercise that faith talk, even when it don't look like it, feel like it, or seem like it. We got to do that faith talk and remind ourselves of who we are and whose we are and what God has promised us, because God done promised us some stuff. This 21-day fast, like today is day 8. Today is a purge day, right? We're talking about purging. Oh, thank you, Corey. I know I do have some beautiful sisters on both sides. All my sisters fine, okay? And it's a blessing, y'all. Listen. Okay, so I was talking to one of my surrogate sisters, right? Her brother and I dated when she was like 12, 13. That was the one that I never married, that like that's the one that I always thought, like, what if we had? But yes, amen. Yes, it's faith to move the faith that he will move the unmovable, faith to change the unchangeable. Come on, sis, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking to her, and she said, well, she calls me Ron. Okay, we're not gonna use that. Okay, she said, Ron. She said, you know what? You are one of the most loving people I've ever met. Like, you just love. Like, you just love everybody. You just love. And you just deserve to be loved. That meant a lot to me. I haven't always felt like I deserved to be loved. I haven't always felt like I was loved. I mean, not, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I felt like people said the words. but I didn't feel like it was always real, you know? I felt like it was something that they said, but it wasn't something that I necessarily saw. Um, and it's probably what makes me want to show my love, um, and not just say it. Now, for me, that's big because I'm spoiled. Um, but God has had me go through seasons where I served. And when I serve for real. Like, I serve others the way I would want to be served, right? Without agenda, without motive, but because this is my assignment, right? This is my assignment to serve. And so that's what I do. And it reminds me, it humbles me, it gives me the opportunity to pour into someone else. And then God, in his infinite wisdom and his great love for me, will send someone to serve me. And I haven't always known how to receive that. Like, I'd be like, okay, but then not use it. And when I say not use it, not use the person, but not allow them the opportunity to really serve me. Because I'd be like, I don't want to owe nobody. I don't want to have to explain nothing. I don't want to have to do no extra. Like, what if it ain't real? What if they've got an agenda? What if they've got a motive? I don't know that I want to necessarily deal with that. People gonna disappoint you, you know. But the beauty is God has blessed me with some people in my life that I can allow myself to trust. And listen, let me tell you how serious it is. I did not ask Stacy tonight to come on and to help me by sharing the comments and stuff. She reached out and asked me, Dr. V, do you want me? Jackie will reach out to me and say, Dr. V, do you need? Corey reach out to me and say, Dr. V, can I? What can I do to help you? Like, we're here, you know? And that's strange for me. And it stretches me. Honestly, it stretches me. But again, this is another area that's impacted by my relationship with my daddy, because it's allowing me to, I'm letting my guard down more. I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable more. Um, I'm allowing myself to just love and be loved and trust the process. I can talk to you all day long about trusting the process. That don't mean I'm always trusting the process. Sometimes I be in the process's way, but it's allowing me the opportunity to rebuild and regain my confidence in people. And I needed that. Probably more than I realized. I needed it. So, as you are in search of you and you're finding you and finding your way, don't forget to look in your parents. Don't forget to acknowledge the things that you share with them. That's undeniable, right? Like, you can't even deny it if you wanted to. Like, oh, yeah, that's me right there. Oh, that's where that comes from. Because those things are important for you to not only understand you, but for you to understand them. And in understanding them, maybe, just maybe, you'll understand yourself a little better. And in the same way that you need grace, extend grace so that grace may abound and be more abundant. You all listen. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Shout out to my sister, Marquita SG, my amazing sister. I call her Sissy. Y'all, I know she probably don't like it, but I be like, Sissy. I know she'd be like, this girl, I am a whole grown woman talking about some sissy. That's what happens when you get a big sister, honey. That's what happens. They do stuff like that. Shout out to my brothers who are amazing supporters of me. Shout out to my sister Ebony, who has been a rock for me in this process. And it's truly taken the journey with me. And then, of course, shout out to my crew, Stacy and Corey and Jackie, who are my riders and have been with me. Um, and shout out to you for taking time to watch this broadcast. I pray that it in some way inspired you, motivated you, encouraged you, empowered you in your journey, and that you would walk it out fully and completely with great faith and expectation, because that's our faith talk. Listen, I love y'all to life and life more. And have an amazing night. Listen, call your parents. Tell them I love you. Let them know. When I get off here, I'm calling my mama. I'm gonna go tell daddy, but I'm gonna call my mama and let her know. Face those challenges that you have in your relationships and know that God's got it. Just throw that little extra grace and keep it pressing. I love you guys. But don't put my government out there like that. I told you I would soon listen to her. Y'all, my sister is a mess. She is a mess. See, I didn't say your whole name, though. See, I didn't say your whole name. Look at that. I'm learning. Okay. I love y'all. Have an amazing night. Look, seriously, I'm being very serious when I say this. Seriously. Thank God for the blessings of your life, because he's the only one who can give them to you. Be blessed. Mwah.